Welcome back, Pokemon Trainers. Professor Chaz here. The lab coat's on back order, and it's been a while since we had one of these kind of Tuesday news update videos, but there are a few things that I'm going to mention, and first and foremost is I'm going to let you know I do have 2 more booster packs of the TCG I'm going to be opening, an Ancient Origins and one of the new ones, Breakthrough. So as always, these code cards are going to go to some viewers, but there's going to be a bit of a change this week. Now last week on the Tuesday video, I posed the question to the viewers, do you want me to start doing something a little bit different? Because normally what I've been doing is opening these packs and revealing the code card right in the video for the first person that can get to TCG Online and redeem it. Now, as somebody had mentioned, Daniel, from I think 2 weeks ago, when I released the 8 code cards of Breakthrough that I got from the pre-release tournament, there's a possibility that one person might have just taken all 8 codes, and of course, I can't control that or anything. But through some talking with Daniel, getting some ideas back and forth, I posed the question, should I now start doing something sort of like a question of the day format? And what's going to happen is, well, first of all, I will say I did get some feedback, and it seems like that's what you guys want me to do, so that's what I'm going to do. What's going to happen is every Tuesday I will pose a question of the day, and it's actually going to be a question of the week, but we'll just say of the day, because maybe, as the channel builds, bigger and better, I can do more of these on a almost maybe a daily basis. So anyway, question of the day. I will ask a question in the Tuesday video, and what that's going to do, like if you leave a comment down below answering the question and use the hashtag QOTD for question of the day so that I know your comment applies to that, I will basically next week, when I get the code cards out of the booster packs, randomly select people that have answered the question of the day, and as I get each code card, I'll randomly choose somebody and send a message through YouTube with that code that you'll be able to take to Pokemon TCG Online. So that way it's going to be a little bit more controlled, I guess. Like, I know that only one person's going to get each individual code. So I think that's going to be a good way to do things. So, that being said, I don't know how many packs I'm going to have for next week. For example, I didn't know I was going to have 2 for this week. But next week, however many code cards I happen to get, the question of the day that I'd like you to answer today, leading up until next Tuesday, is very generic, very simple. What do you like most about Pokemon? So, I'm doing things on the channel for both the TCG and the video game. I like to sort of represent both, so I'm not going to limit it. Like, since this is a TCG code giveaway, the questions might sometimes be more skewed towards the TCG, but for the first one, the first official one, I want to make it very broad. So, do you like the TCG as far as collecting? Do you like the battling? In the video game, do you like breeding? Do you like getting the badges? Do you like, whatever you like about Pokemon? Just leave that in a comment down below. Use the hashtag QOTD, and you'll be entered in to win one of the code cards that I happen to have for next week. Alright, so that is the mention of the new format for doing the code cards. And originally I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually do something like that, because I think I mentioned this last week. As far as I understand, the way YouTube works is the more interaction and feedback a video gets, the more often it will show up in searches and recommended videos of other people that haven't seen it. So that's a good way to get more publicity out there, more population of the channel, and that's what I do want to hope to get to. I want to keep building this channel so even more people can have the information that I'm giving out. So I've always felt a little awkward about, I figure if you're going to like the video, if you want to comment, and if you want to subscribe, you're going to do that anyway. You don't need me to remind you or ask you to do it. So it's almost like my thought was, if I'm offering these code cards in exchange for comments, which is going to build my channel, it felt like a bit of a bribe or an incentive kind of thing. But, either way, the main idea that I want for these comments is that I can interact with the viewers a little bit more. So that is what we're going to go with for the code cards. Now, I got a few mentions to make from the video game of the Pokemon video games, mostly in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Biggest mention that relates to this channel in particular is Season 13 of the rating battles in the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire League has begun as of today. As of I think 2 a.m. last night when I tried to play it. What this means is the new format for Season 13 is no Mega Stones are going to be permitted. So you have to go back to not using Mega Evolution, previous strategies of teams that came into play before the Megas ever even showed up on the scene. So that's one thing. Another thing to mention, which is more crucial to my channel, Pokemon from previous generations that don't have the blue pentagon in their data screen are no longer permitted. Season 12 was a bit of a more free play sort of a thing, where the online battles were permitting the previous generation Pokemon, but they've gone back to their regular standard of not including them, which means all the Pokemon that I've been training over the years, I'm not going to be able to use them in the Omega Ruby double battles from here on out. However, don't despair. I did actually put a lot of time in this weekend to pre-record several matches for the coming weeks of the Season 12 battles. So I still have Omega Ruby double battles that I will be showing for the next about month and a half or so, I think. So we still have that coming up in the future. But if you're going to start doing some rating battles starting today, bear in mind you have no Mega Evolutions available, and you cannot use previous generation Pokemon. Now, another big mention to make in video game news for Pokemon is I was watching the Nintendo Direct feed, I think it was on Thursday last week, sometime last week, and they were making all these announcements about all these different video games and stuff. There was like mention of Legend of Zelda, there was a Star Fox, there's so much. I didn't even see the whole thing, but there were so many things mentioned. One of the really cool things that they mentioned actually is on February 27th of 2016, for the Virtual Console on 3DS, they are re-releasing Pokemon Red version, Pokemon Blue version, and Pokemon Yellow version. Now, this is actually pretty awesome because Red and Blue originally came out in 1998, and Yellow came a year after, 1999, so it's been almost 20 years since these games have actually been, produced. And you're going to be able to, for those of you that haven't played these games, you're going to be able to play the original Kanto Generation 1 Pokemon games just as myself and many others out there first got hooked into the game, or the world of Pokemon. Now, there's one update that they mentioned they're going to make. I'm not sure if they're going to be updating a whole lot of things as far as, they said the graphics and the music are going to be the same. I'm expecting gameplay mechanics to be the same as well, because back in the old, the very first generation, Bug and Poison were actually super effective against each other, which was pretty interesting, like seeing a Beedrill get super effective, no, I guess it was neutral damage from a poison attack, but then seeing like a Twin Needle super effective against a Grimer. So there's some typings that are different, and of course there were no Dark or Steel types in the very first generation, so Magnemite is pure electric, and Bite was a normal type move, and there's also the broken combination of Leech Seed and Toxic. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically Toxic increases in damage in every single turn, and if you had something Toxic and then threw a Leech Seed on it, the Leech Seed drain was actually increasing every turn too. So it was a bit of a broken combination. In I think 4 turns you would knock out any opposing Pokemon as long as you can poison them and stuff. And I think Grass wasn't immune to Leech Seed back then. Maybe it was. I might be getting that confused. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling right now. The only big mention that they mentioned that they're going to be changing for these Virtual Console games is the connectivity. So back in the day, when we had our big old clunky Game Boys, the only way to communicate them with one another was to take this big old Game Link cable and, if you can believe this, physically connect one Game Boy to another Game Boy. And then you would actually be able to battle and trade with your friends doing that. So since the new 3DS systems, they don't have Game Link cable ports, they're actually switching the Virtual Console games to include the wireless connectivity. So you're still going to be able to trade and battle with your friends using wireless instead of using the Game Link cable. It's pretty cool. I think it's kind of neat that the current generation of players is going to be able to experience the games that I first experienced, where Shelbert, my Squirtle, my original starter, and everyone else originally came from. I think it's pretty cool that they're actually re-releasing these games. Now, one more mention to make for the video game, and then I'm going to get to the opening of the booster pack, so it's kind of a shorter video this week, is the mythical Pokemon Hoopa is coming to North America, and it is arriving, of all places, in McDonald's. So it's going to be a McDonald's giveaway over the Nintendo Zone, and it's running from November 27th to December 23rd. So if you go to McDonald's and connect to Nintendo Zone, you can go to the mystery gift option in your game, X, Y, Omega Ruby, or Alpha Sapphire, and download a mystery gift via the internet, and you will receive Hoopa. Now in X and Y, it's going to be in the confined form, but if you have Hoopa in your party in Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire, I think what happens if you go to any Pokemon Mart and talk to the clerk, he tells you a little bit of a backstory of, he found this certain bottle or something like that, and he offers it to you, and it's I think called the Prison Bottle. And that Prison Bottle is what you can use to unleash Hoopa from its confined form to its unbound form. I think for 3 days it lasts. So you'll be able to, get this super powerful, legendary, mythical Pokemon by going to McDonald's. And another cool thing too is in the Happy Meals at McDonald's, they're going to be including one of 8 different figures of Pokemon. I think they mentioned there was Pikachu, Primal Kyogre, Primal Groudon, Rayquaza's in there as well, a few others. And there's also going to be one, I think one of 8 Pokemon TCG cards as well. So it's going to be pretty interesting. You know, I'm hoping to pick up some of those things myself to be able to show off on the channel. Some promo cards, some little figures and stuff like that. And who doesn't want to pick up a mythical Pokemon Hoopa? So I'm going to be definitely looking into that. So that is, again, from November 27th till November 27th till December 23rd. This Hoopa is going to be level 50 with the Magician ability, which says when it makes physical contact against an opponent, there's a chance it might steal that opponent's item. And it's got the moves Hyperspace Hole, Psychic, Astonish, and Nasty Plot. So of course, Astonish is not going to boost from Nasty Plot, but Astonish is one of those physical connecting moves, so Magician ability could come in handy. So that's all I have to mention for the Pokemon news information for this week. Let's get right into opening these code cards, and again, just a quick reminder, answer the question of the day, what do you like most about Pokemon? Leave that in a comment down below, use the hashtag QOTD, and we'll put you into the running for next week's code cards when I open them up. Alright, let's break open the Ancient Origins and break through and see what I get. So we're going to take a look at the 2 booster packs of Ancient Origins and Breakthrough. Pop these open, and if you did answer last week's question of the day, feel free to check your inbox and see if you happen to get a message containing the code card for either of these packs. So first up is Ancient Origins, and grab the code card and slip it aside. And now let's take a look at the 10 cards that I get in the collection. Beginning with the common cards, we see a Relicanth, Golurk, Persian, Baltoy, Inkay. Next is a Lysandre, always a versatile card, like I say. You want to be able to move your opponent's Pokemon around. Lysandre lets you do that. We have a Vespiquen. Now this has been seeing a lot of use with the Night March deck. Be Revenge does 20 plus 10 more damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile. Plus it has free retreat as well, that's always good. Ampharos Spirit Link to Mega Evolve Ampharos and not lose your turn. Reverse foil card is another Inkay, nice and shiny form. And the rare card of the Ancient Origins pack is an Entei with Burning Roar. Discard the top 4 cards of your deck. If any of those cards are fire energy cards, attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. And Combat Blaze is 20 plus 20 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So the more bench they have, the more powerful Entei becomes. And now, the moment we've been waiting for, my next booster pack of the Breakthrough expansion. So code card, if I can get it, there we go. And 10 booster cards, or 10 cards from booster pack. So probably going to see some new cards that I haven't seen yet here on my channel. Hang on a sec. Focus. There we go. We have a Snubbull, a nice little clay figure. I like some of the art that looks like that. You see, looks like an actual figure in a real life setting. Okay, anyways, we also have Cacnea, also another little clay figure. I like the little cactuses behind it too, or cacti, I mean to say. A Scatterbug, Rufflet, and a Snover. Now, uncommons, we get a Wobbuffet, Cacturne, Haunter, the Gothic Fear ability. The reverse foil card is Rainbow Energy. That's very nice. So it provides, it says provides colorless energy, but while it's in play, it provides every type of energy, but only one at a time. And when you attach it to your Pokemon from your hand, you put a damage counter on that Pokemon. But it's very versatile. If you have like a deck of cards that has a lot of different types, Rainbow Energy is a good way to go. And the rare card of the pack is a Miss Magius. With the Twisted Incantation, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may have your opponent shuffle his or her hand into his or her deck and draw a card for each of his or her remaining prize cards. Curse Deeply does 60 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. So those are the 2 booster packs for the week. As I say, check your inbox if you did answer last week's question of the day, and see if you happen to get the code card for either of those packs that you can take to Pokémon TCG Online and redeem for a 10-card online booster pack. And once again, a reminder, question of the day for this week is, what do you like most about Pokemon? Just anything at all. So, if you like the TCG, let me know what you like about that. If you like the video game, let me know what you like about that. So put that in a comment down below. Use the hashtag QOTD so I can find it and categorize it. And I look forward to possibly getting some free booster packs to you guys next week. So thank you for checking out this week's news video. And look forward to the Pokemon TCG Online match tomorrow. And I'll see you then. Bye. I'll catch you next time.